Hello, welcome to another Becoming a Modern Man. This time we are going to be looking at a mono green Goblin Charbelcher deck. Well, slight splash of blue, but basically a mono green Goblin Charbelcher deck. A really interesting deck that recently did quite well in one of the modern events on the MTGO. This is the deck. We've got all these ways to fetch up lands, and then lots of different ways to generate mana. Just the 7 lands. 7 lands is the number we're running. I think this is a good number to run just because it's the amount it costs to cast Charbelcher and activate it at the same time. Also, it's been running quite well for me in terms of mulligans, etc. I think 7 lands seems to be a good number on this one. Not sure if that could be tweaked, but I'm quite happy with 7. So, yep. This is just a quick look at the deck, but we're going to go into a match now. We played against Living End. So, we lost the roll here. Here's our opener. A land, a Utopia Sprawl, actually a couple of Utopia Sprawls, a couple of Recross the Paths, Simian Spirit Guide, and Charbelcher and Fabricate. It's not the best of hands. I mean, Charbelcher and Fabricate are kind of we don't really want both of those. Utopia Sprawl is not the best, as it's not actually searching up lands out of our deck, which means that it doesn't work so great with the Charbelcher. And Simian Spirit Guide is a card I haven't been overly impressed with. I mean, it can let you do slightly bigger things on any given turn, but I haven't been in love with it in this deck. So we're just going to kick off with the Utopia Sprawl, in blue, so that allows us to cast our Fabricate, so should we want to. We cast the Sakura Tribe-Elder here, which is a little bit slow, but we didn't have a whole lot else we could do in that situation. So we're going to sack the Tribe-Elder. Opponent's going to cycle some creatures. It's like I said, a Living End deck. Can use Across the Paths here. And we win the clash, so we get our Recross the Paths back. Hang it into the north, which I think we're going to keep on top, just as a way to chew up more lands. Opponent uses a Beast Within to blow up our land with the Utopia Sprawl on it, which is pretty unfortunate for us. In fact, he has quite a bit of land destruction in his deck. Is pretty awkward. We only run 7 lands, and if he can blow them all up, then we're in really bad shape. Equally, his deck is, thanks to Living End, means that our mana producing creatures can just be wiped off the board with a Living End, so we're kind of in a difficult situation, and it's definitely not looking too good for us. Yeah, Recross the Paths again, just to get another land in play, but really struggling here. Managed to get opponent down to 6 life with this beast, but obviously he's the one who's in control here. Use Beast Within again. The Cascade into the Living End is basically it for us. He's got a load of creatures in his graveyard, which are probably enough to just kill us in one shot. And even if they aren't, we've only got 2 lands. It's just not going to happen for us, unfortunately. So on to game 2. Our hand was no good. We didn't have a land in it, or sufficient ways to make mana. Seems though Chancellor can also work in a hand with no lands, but yeah, it looks like it has to be a mulligan there. This is our this is what we mulliganed into. Pretty decent. Got some ways to search for lands here. Got Rampant Growth. Got the Charbelcher in hand, which is always nice to know we've got it. And Wall of Roots as well. So lead off with the Lay of the Land, searching up a snow-covered forest. The Wall of Roots here into an Arbor Elf. Could have played Caravan Vigil instead. I'm not sure which would exactly be the best. I don't think it makes a ton of difference. So Rampant Growth here, then Lay of the Land, Caravan Vigil, which leaves just 2 lands left in my deck, a Breeding Pool and a Snow-Covered Forest. So it means this Charbelcher is going to be pretty powerful. Also draw into another Charbelcher, which is nice. But yeah, we're going to be able to actually play our Charbelcher and activate it here. So this is turn 4, which is pretty quick for this deck. Looks like we do 18 damage, which is just short of what we were looking for, unfortunately. Which I mean, it happens when you've got a couple of lands left in your deck. Then you can't be certain that you're going to be able to kill your opponent. But we definitely came pretty close here. So yeah, could have won there with a bit more luck, but done a substantial amount to our opponent. And with this Goblin Charbelcher in backup, I think we're looking fairly good here. Slowly just as putting our cards back onto the bottom of our library. Obviously we want to put the land on the very bottom. It has a beast within to blow up our Charbelcher. I assume that they've got a way to violent outburst, presumably to go into a living end. They might not. They might just be sort of bluffing, as it were. But we've got the Goblin Charbelcher here, so I might as well not go to combat because I don't want to pass priority and have him kill all my creatures, seeing as I need them for the mana. So I'm just going to do it here on my first main phase. Get the Belcher into play, activate it, and yeah, as you can see, put his opponent to -24. So not entirely sure exactly how much damage that was, but got a lot of cards there, and we managed to win that one there. I mean, we got unlucky. I suppose we actually. I think we were in pretty good shape there, all in all, and yeah, managed to win on turn 5, which is pretty good. So onto the decider. Sounds fairly decent. Got 3 Lay of the Land, so we're going to be able to chew up a lot of lands. Also got some creatures here, which is nice. Obviously, we're going to need to draw into that Charbelcher or some way to chew it up, but otherwise, a fairly decent hand. So Lay of the Land, get Snow-Covered Forest. I'm going to go play out a Wall of the Roots into another Lay of the Land. Punch off Fulminator Mage, which means that Breeding Pool is going to go away, which is a little frustrating, has to be said. Use Utopia Sprawls to make sure I've got access to blue. Not that it's particularly necessary, but if we do draw a Fabricate, it would be nice. Couldn't use another Beast Within to attack us, to blow up one of our lands. The one with the Utopia Sprawl on it, obviously. And yeah, this is probably the most difficult thing about playing against Living End. They're going to be able to, and that's really, really bad for us. We've only got 2 lands. He's managed to play Living End into a rather substantial attack force. She's got a couple of Chancellors in hand, so that's not really going to be able to win them soon. Yeah, we're just dead there. So yeah, Living End's quite a tough matchup, particularly the fact that they've got cards like Beast Within, which are really good against us, blowing up our lands or even blowing up Charbelcher, etc. So that's pretty rough. And Fulminator Mage, etc. Blowing up Breeding Pool, which means it's difficult to get access blue if you want to cast Fabricate, things like that. So yeah, not the easiest of matchups for this deck. Certainly we're able to win, as I showed in game 2, but it's kind of rough. We've got a lot of ways to deny you mana, which makes life pretty difficult, but not the worst matchup in the world, but certainly tough for the deck.